You don't just... You know that feeling when you hear the very first notes of a piano and your heart just stops? When you realize you are about to witness something that feels both deeply familiar and completely new? That is exactly what happened when Taylor Swift sat down at the piano for her first performance since becoming a married woman. Before we break down the moment that has the entire internet convinced something massive is on the horizon, hit that subscribe button, because what Taylor just played, you are not ready for this. There is something almost sacred about watching an artist return to their instrument after a life-changing moment. On August 18th, just 6 weeks after her fairy tale wedding to Travis Kelce at Madison Square Garden, Taylor Swift walked into the Grammy Museum's Clive Davis Theater in Los Angeles for an intimate career retrospective with Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. She was there to reflect on 2 decades of songwriting. She was there to talk about her roots. And then, at the end of the conversation, she did something nobody saw coming. She walked over to the very same floral piano she had brought with her around the world on the Eras Tour, sat down, and began to play. But here's what makes this moment so much more than just another performance. This was Taylor's first public performance since becoming Mrs. Kelce, and she chose to mark that milestone not with a stadium spectacle or a grand production, but with an intimate, stripped-down, 6-minute piano medley that felt like a love letter to her own journey. She mashed up 3 songs connected by a single powerful theme, memory. I Knew It, I Knew You from the Toy Story 5 soundtrack, the wistful longing of August, and the devastating ache of All Too Well, all woven together in a way that made it almost impossible to tell where one ended and another began. And then she spoke. Before she even touched the keys, she told the audience something that stopped me in my tracks. This is the piano that I brought with me all around the world on the Eras Tour, and one of my favorite things that I would do on the Eras Tour, I had this section called the acoustic section. I would do different songs every night, one on guitar and one on piano, and I started to really have a blast with creating medleys towards the middle end part of the tour. She explained that she would find a through line, rhythmically or emotionally, to connect the songs. And then she dropped the line that sent fans into a frenzy. I prepared one for you today that if I was still on the Eras Tour, I would do this one. Let us slow down here because this is where the psychology gets absolutely fascinating. Taylor Swift just gave us the first taste of what her artistry might look like in this new chapter of her life. She could have performed a new song. She could have teased something from the rumored TS13. Instead, she chose to look back, but in a way that feels like she is looking forward. By bringing back the floral piano, by recreating the magic of the Eras Tour's acoustic section, she reminded us that she is still the same songwriter who fell in love with storytelling in Nashville. But she also made it clear that she is evolving. During the conversation, she reflected on how her country roots have only become more meaningful over time. I've loved, and I think this can happen as you grow up, my country roots more and more, she said. The further along this path I get, I want to honor them more and more, and I feel more and more tied and more loyal to them, the people that shaped who I am as an artist and as a writer. And the fans, they noticed everything. One wrote, "That's the most debut dress to ever debut," referencing the sage green silk chiffon dress she wore. Another declared, "Taylor returning to the Eras Tour piano, something big is coming." Because let us be honest, Taylor Swift does not do anything by accident. She knows that the color green has been tied to debut Taylor's version rumors. She knows that bringing back the Eras Tour piano after months of silence is not just nostalgia, it's a signal. And she knows that fans are desperate for any clue about what comes next. You know what I think? I think this surprise performance was Taylor Swift's way of telling us that she's not done with us. She's not disappearing into married life. She's not slowing down. She's just taking a moment to breathe, to reflect, and to remind us why we fell in love with her music in the first place. The medley was about memory, about reliving detailed moments from your life and understanding their significance. And in choosing those 3 songs, she was inviting us to do the same. To remember where we were when we first heard All Too Well, to remember the summers we spent lost in August, to remember that even as she enters her happiest era, she will never forget where she came from. At the end of the day, Taylor Swift returning to the piano wasn't just a performance, it was a promise that the next chapter is coming, a promise that she is still writing, still creating, still surprising us. And honestly, that is the most exciting thing she could have possibly given us. But now I need to hear from you. Do you think this performance was a clue about TS13 or debut TV? And what song would you have wanted her to add to that medley? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're there, smash that like button and subscribe so we can keep decoding these moments together. I'll see you in the next one.